Today I'm going to go over the tire pressure problems and explanations from the quiz. There were a couple that I would like to focus on. One of the questions asks about tires. How long will they last? If they last 50,000 miles when they are properly inflated. Tires lose the same percent of their expected life for every percent they are under or overinflated based on the recommended PSI. If 32 PSI is recommended, but 26 PSI is maintained, how many miles will the tires actually last? So we look at our total of 50,000, and then we have 32 being recommended, but 26 being the actual PSI. So the way we're going to figure this out is we're going to do equivalent fractions. If we have it underinflated where it should be 32, but it's actually 26, we're going to do what percent is 26 of 32. So we can use our percent box and have the percent here. So 26 is to 32 as the percent is to 100. So this is 26 is the actual part, and 32 is the recommended, or the whole. So what we're going to do, we're going to have the percent equal P. So the way it looks is we multiply 26 times 100, 26 times 100, we're going to cross multiply, equals 32 times P, which is the percent. So then we're going to divide by 32, and when we do all the math, the 32's cross out, and we have P equals 81.25%. So the question also says that the tires can last 50,000 miles, so we need to know what percent of 50,000 miles is 81.25%, and then we'll know how long they last. So if we multiply 50,000, P equals, so here we're going to use 0.8125 because a percent is a decimal, times 50,000. And when we multiply that out, we get our answer of 40,624. So we know that if our tires are underinflated at 26 when they should be 32, we're only going to get 40,624 miles out of the tires when we could get 50,000 miles. So that's the answer to the question about how long the tires will last. Our next question is about the PSI and gas mileage. The manufacturer recommends a PSI of 35 for the front tires of a car and 33 for the back tires of the same car. If the tires are underinflated at 25 and 23 respectively, and the gas mileage is currently 50 miles per gallon, what will the new gas mileage be when the tires are inflated to their recommended PSI of 35 and 33? The gas mileage increases 0.2% for every pound it is increased when it is under the recommended PSI. So the manufacturer recommends a PSI of 35 for the front tires and 33 for the back tires. This is the front, and these are the back of the same car. If the tires are underinflated at 25 and 23 respectively, so this is the actual 25 and actual 23, and the gas mileage is currently 50 miles per gallon, 50 miles per gallon right now with this inflation, what will the new gas mileage be when the tires are inflated to their recommended PSI of 35 and 33? Gas mileage increases 0.2% for every pound it is increased when it is under the recommended PSI. So we see it's under the recommended PSI, but we see the difference here and the difference here. They're both the same. They're 10 PSI of a difference between the actual and the recommended. So the question asks, what will the gas mileage be? If it increases 0.2% for every PSI, and we have a difference of 10, we multiply 10 times 0.2%, and when we do that, we get 2%. So now we know with the change in the PSI, we're going to get 2% better gas mileage. So when we multiply that out, we get our 50 miles per gallon, and then we multiply that by 2%. Now here's the key, is where we put our decimal point here. It's 0.02 because a percent is a decimal, so we're multiplying by 0.02. And when we do that, we get 1 mile per gallon. So our gas mileage is going to increase at the correct PSI of 1 mile per gallon. And when it does, we're going to go from 50 to 51 miles per gallon. Okay, and that's how we got our answer.